Check this first. If you mess with me, make sure you hit that follow button. Let's get it. What the hell is he talking about? First, the reason why you don't see any kids there on a midday is because they're permanently closed. It makes me wonder, why didn't you show nobody what it said on that door? And I tried to read it, but you literally blurred it out. Now, the reason why they're closed isn't because of fraud. It's because they're a bad daycare.
The only thing you got right is it seems they are a bad daycare center.
I just want to know, what's your response?
What's the problem?
Huh?
Get the out of here.
What's your response to the allegations? Is there fraud going on here, and is there children? That's all.
We'll be fixed by this week. It'll be fixed by this week.
Has it been this way for the past 8.5 years that you've been open?
No,
Do you know?
no. We paid someone. We paid a graphic designer. Clearly, didn't do a good job. We try to get back. We try to get back to him. I don't want to mention his name in his business for a while now, for like 3-4 months.
I know y'all remember that learning center that they called Learning Center. Remember the Minnesota Learning Center? Well, this gentleman right here, this is the son of the actual owners. His name is Ibrahim Ali, and he's gonna speak and try to deflect and say his mission is to deflect, gaslight, and throw a whole bunch of allegations to throw people off and make it look like they're being attacked. I'm gonna let you guys be the judge and decide on your own. Make your own conclusion out of this right here. We're gonna sit back and react to this right here. Don't forget, if you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. Let's help this channel grow. Let me stop wasting your time and let's see how this is about to play out. Don't forget, Minnesota is in a hot seat. And from what I know right now, we're looking at Ohio. We're looking at Maine. Oh, yes. We're looking at the whole U.S. at this point. So,
Like I said,
Confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that
don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million?
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
How much money are you receiving money from the state, or how does the funding work here for you all?
Yeah, I don't think people understand.
As Minnesota, as Somalis, as people that own this business for 8 years now, we do nothing but to uplift the community, uplift our children, uplift one another, uplift non-Somalis, uplift Somalis, to make a better community for all of us. So if somebody comes in and says, hey, they're not doing it, it's just like if he would have came during operational hours and there's no one here, okay, you've got a point. He came, I think it was 11 a.m. Obviously, there's no cars in the parking lot. If you look around, there's cars now. Yeah, because our employees are here, our children are here, our clients are here. But don't come at 10 a.m. They're like, hey, their door's not open. Obviously, our door's not going to be open at 10 a.m. We're not open 10 a.m. The sign on the door says that. Opening the daycare license is not easy whatsoever. I see a lot of people pointing fingers at DHS. DHS does a good job, to the point that if you ask most daycare owners, Somali or not Somali, it's a really strenuous process. You have to admit paperwork. You have to submit paperwork daily. You have to do a monthly. You have to do a yearly. They have to make sure kids are coming. They have to make sure parents are busy with work or school per se. If the parents are not occupied, we don't get paid. So for example, you bring your children to me. While we're open, if you're at home, we don't get paid for those children. Those children can't come to us. We can decide as a daycare, hey, like out of just to do a favor for the parent, we'll bring the parents. But those kids, we're not gonna get paid for it. The day their parents stop working or stop going to school, we don't get paid for it.
it seems like he knows a lot about the ins and outs and how to make everything go smoothly. Allegedly. I'm just pointing that out there, right? Another thing, I know you're not supposed to pay attention to the messenger and more so the message, but in this situation, his eyes going this way is actually hurting my eyes. You understand what I'm saying? I can't look directly at him. With that being said, Ibrahim Ali, I believe that's his name, but all I'm gonna say is, Ibrahim, my boy, you looking guilty, allegedly. That's all I'm saying.
So it's not like, hey, just enroll yourself in daycare. It's not that easy. The parents themselves, yearly, they have to, there's a redetermination for them. How much they make, where they live, the house income, the size of the house. They have to fill all those out. What kind of income they make, both parents, how much they make. If they make over a certain threshold, the government does not pay for them. So it's not like the government is paying for people that have their pockets full. It's people that can't afford it and are working and are going to school. So the government and DHS make sure that person is not able to take care of their children. That's the only time they can bring it to our daycare or any daycare. If the parent is at home, we're not getting paid.
What do you say? What do you say to people who say this is like all for show? Like all the cars in the parking lot, the kids being dropped off now. It's only
definitely all for
response
show.
to that video.
We spoke about this earlier. You guys can come tomorrow. You guys can come on Thursday. You guys come back Monday. If there's not this many cars, let me know. There'll be this many cars. There'll be children going in and out.
I'm sure a memo went out stating, listen, you all need to come in the office. Remember when COVID was out and everybody had to work from home? Then when everything was all said and done, they said, listen, if you don't come back to the office, you don't have a job anymore. What if this is the same situation? Of course, now you guys gonna make it look right. Why? Because the whistle was blown. And now you're trying to be so much on point that is really looking too noticeable at this point. What I feel like Nick should have done was real investigative, journalistic work. And what I mean by that is he should have videotaped these places for days at all different times instead of just knocking on the door the way he did, because now he left room for people to have opinions which would fake debunk what he just did, if you get what I'm saying.
Daycare center is. There's employees, there's food that we have to serve them. We have to serve them lunch, 2 snacks, and dinner. For 60 plus kids, that bill is not small. That bill is not small. We pay the teachers, obviously. We have to pay the teachers a good wage, standard, if not more. When they're with us for a certain time, we have to increase their pay. We have to make sure the toys are up to date. We have to make sure even the electronics they use inside the building is up to date. So it's not like the money comes and it's in our pockets. It's hardworking people that are here. It's hardworking parents. It's hardworking employees. It's hardworking owners that make all this happen. It's not 1 or 2 people that make this happen.
What would you say to Nick Shirley, the YouTuber, if he was standing in front of you?
I have nothing against him himself, but I do have something against the rhetoric. It's if you're gonna be a journalist, just have a moral compass. Like, do what you do correctly. If you catch business that are fraud, no one here is with that, or like we don't support that as a community. I don't.
Listen, just because you don't support it doesn't mean it's not going down. And yes, the fraud was exposed. When you say moral compass, I mean, where's your moral compass? You guys are getting fat while people over here staying skinny. How about that?
Support that myself. I was born and raised here. I'm not for fraud. Like the notion that, hey, a certain batch of Somalis got caught, so all of them support it. It's like, no one, if in any community, any mishaps that happen, the rest of the community obviously doesn't want that to happen. It's a stain on all of our names, as you guys can see. We don't want that to happen. We don't take part in that. We don't like that. We don't want that in our communities. But just to say, hey, a certain company got caught, so they must all do it, and I feel like that's what he's doing. I'm not a fan of that.
2 to 10 p.m. may not be your typical daycare hours, so can you explain why it is that you operate during these hours?
The reason for that is we're after school hours. So most of our clients, not most of our clients, all of our clients is after school hours. So schools, earliest dismissal would be 2:15 to 2:30ish, and the latest dismissal would be up to like 4:30ish, 4:40ish. So that's when our kids come to us. We don't have anyone in the morning. We deal with only parents and clients that come to us after school. So that's why ours are 2 to 10 p.m.
All right. So this is my thing, right? If what he's saying is true, then why do you have somebody there at 10 in the morning? If you don't open till after school hours, why is somebody in the building? Somebody go in the comments and explain that.
Just as a side note, if I try to tell you guys, if you try to open in the morning, it's not as advantageous because if the parent has 5 to 6 kids, they're not able to bring most of them because they're going to be at school. They'll bring you an infant, but you'll maybe have 8 to 10 infants. You can't really suffice a business with that.
There was a Zoom call today with the state, with politicians in the House. That said that you closed last week. I'm walking up. So
I discussed that with her. We never closed. There was never a sign on our door. There was never a time where kids were told to stop coming. There was never a time we told our employees to stop coming. All that's false information. Like, where does this come from?
From a Zoom call today with.
No, we were not closed. We were not closed. We didn't tell anyone we were closed. We didn't email by DHS and then be sent back for you to be closed per se. That was never done.
Do you think the commissioner mistook your facility for a different place, or how exactly does the state get that information?
I'd rather not speak for them, but that's completely false information. That's nothing that we, like I said, filled out and submitted to anybody. So where does it come from?
Can we get a tour of the center?
Not right now, only because most daycares, the issue is parents do not allow us to have their children recorded. And it's not just daycares. I know a lot of journalists like to make it a daycare issue. You can't go in schools and like record children because we have forms when we're submitting our students. 99% of the time, the parents gonna say, "Hey, I don't want my child on any sort of camera." But for our own sake, when we're taking them to playgrounds and all that, we don't record them because the parents tell you not to. So it's out of the safety of the kids. That's why we specifically ask that the camera is over here and not over there, so the kids are not recorded. And once again, I'd like to conclude: the YouTuber that was making the claims, you were here earlier today. I came here at 1 o'clock. You were here. Where are you now? You claim we're closed. You claim we're a fraud. Where are you? Why are you not here right now?
This is where she exposes where she's seen. Remember when I told you that the son of this learning center has been exposed for being part of a certain party or a certain group? This is the clip right here. Check this out.
Am I going crazy, or is this the same guy? Is the manager of the infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video? The one that went super viral where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month? Ibrahim Ali claims to be the manager of the Quality Learning Center and says that there is no fraud going on whatsoever there. He very well may just have a doppelganger who happens to look just like him that lives in the very same city he lives in, or he could be one of the Somali community leaders who is working with local electeds to keep some of these fraud schemes going. But that would just be crazy, right? I could be totally wrong to assume this, but he's got a very unique face and hairline.
Definitely does.
I mean, he looks so similar to this guy going...
Nah, that's him.
I mean, hypothetically speaking, it would make sense that someone running a fraudulent business would have a vested interest in who is in control politically in the city where they are running said fraudulent business. And Jacob Frey is no stranger to simping for Somalia. Hell, he even puts out campaign videos in Somali for
Maaga Egawa Jacob Frey. Dolke Magalada, Minneapolis.
And the cherry on top is that Governor Tim Walz, after being radio silent, finally comes out and puts out a statement days later, just a few minutes ago. And what does he do? He blames Trump. Trump keeps letting fraudsters out of prison. I'm curious, do you guys think this is the same guy? Because if I was the DOJ, I would be getting to know Ibrahim very well right now.
Hey man, she did her homework. She's nice. She's good at what she do. Now let's continue rolling these clips.
You're trying to put out a certain message about a certain group. I'm not gonna make that claim. I don't want to make that claim without me knowing him personally, but that's what it seems like he's doing from his
It's funny how they have a lot of activity now all of a sudden.
He was recording us. We had no issue with it. We told him, hey, just get off our property. You can record. Now he's not here.
Could you just confirm how many employees you have and how many students are serving on an average day?
We have about 25 employees, and children, we're at 92, I believe it is. Our capacity is 99, so we don't really like to touch 90 and above. We're at 92 right now. Our capacity, though, is 99. That capacity is set by the fire marshal, is not. Like I said, this is not like something you can just write on a piece of paper. The fire marshal sets the standards for the building size. We didn't get to choose, hey, that 9 children. We didn't get to choose that.
But how many would come in daily? How many kids, roughly?
Scott could talk.
50, 80.
I see why they made him talk.
Depending on the weather, depending on if they play sports.
He could
There's
spin a
lot of
narrative.
different factors that go into it, but children are here. And like I said, I'll conclude this. You guys come here tomorrow. You guys come here Thursday. You guys come here Monday. The kid
I'm sure for the next few months, everyone's gonna show up. Even the people who have nothing to do with anything, they're all gonna show up. At this point, I believe allegedly you guys are paying people to fill these seats in at this time. At this point,
will be here. Just federal holidays, just to be clear. I know there's a lot of rhetoric around federal holidays. Federal holidays are paid days for us. So we're closed on those days. Like New Year's Day, January 1st, we're not gonna be here. Just to be clear, it's not because it's fraud. It's not because it's closed. Clients and parents all know alike. We're not open. Christmas Day, we weren't open. It's not because of fraud. It's not because we don't celebrate. We don't celebrate Christmas, but it's a paid holiday. We're given a certain amount of calendar days throughout the year which we can submit as paid holidays. And it's one of those paid holidays. So, like I said,
confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that
don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million.
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
How much money are you receiving money from the state, or how does the funding work here for you all?
Yeah, I don't think people understand how that works at all.
The funding works you're given a certain threshold per child. The younger the child is, the more you get paid. The older they are, the younger they get paid. The less you're paid. So depending on how many children you have is how much you get paid per family. But we don't make those standards. CCAP and the government makes those standards. We don't make those standards. We're not allowed to build a cent more. Like say for example, an infant, you get paid a certain rate. You're not gonna get paid a cent more than that once you bill it. So if there's a certain amount we make, that's from the kids we take care of. We feed, we clothe, we pick up, we drop off. That's what we submit to the government, and the government pays us for that. So it's not, none of this is stolen money. Like I said,
confirm for us the $4 million figure. We've been hearing that a lot. Is that
don't know where that came from. I have no idea where that came from.
$4 million.
That's a completely false claim. We don't make that much with the amount of children we have.
So now, what do you believe in the situation? As I explained earlier, he is the son of the owners of this establishment. And we seen when Nick was there, there were no cars in the driveway. Parking lot, we didn't see any activity, nothing. Now, if that were me, what I would have personally done before I would have aired it out, even though they say that Biden administration sent people to prison behind this and they thought they nipped it in the butt and it's over, and that Nick Shirley is out here trying to expose something that has already been exposed. To me, it seems like they're gaslighting, they're deflecting, and they're condoning the fraud, regardless of who's committing it. You know, and I'm not oblivious to the fact that, yes, I know the Somalis were not alone in this situation. Of course, there were white people or people of all colors that were helping, but this was specifically for the Somali community. They were the ones who were benefiting the most off of the situation right here. So, hey, or whoever they were in bed with, put them as a scapegoat so that they have nothing to do with it. Meanwhile, their pockets were getting fat. Hey, I got more videos on the way. Stay tuned. Go in the comments. Let me know what you think about this right here. Is it fraud or are they reaching? And let's not forget, CNN already is trying to fix this up and say, look, listen, boy that went out there on YouTube, the fake journalist, nah, don't listen to him. He's been debunked. Don't believe anything. Listen, I just need you guys to use your own clear thought, critical thinking, your own imagination, and your own rational. You understand? Because if you allow the media to think for you, you just brainless.